It's Thursday. I believe we're doing a best of tomorrow, so the rest of the building seems to be fleeing. So why not I? Well, Nick, you only been doing radio about 6 weeks. I don't give a shit. I'm as lazy as the next fella. And I got to give it up to Stipes and to Andy Flowers for putting together the best of. And I can't. Editing's a nightmare to me. Picking anything, even when I have my specials, I would pay a young retarded kid to do that for me. 6 cents. Just listening to your own shit. Oh, goodness gracious. Eloise. So, yeah, and by the way, thank you to my my contributors. I'm really out of sorts today. Where the fuck? For my podcast. Couple of fat contributions. Jonathan Keller, as always. This guy's been a heavy hitter since day one. And Chris DeVito. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to contribute to the Nick Dipaolo podcast, you go to connectpal.com/Nick. And by the way, you get a free episode on iTunes on Monday. Then the rest of the week, for $3.99 a month, you get 4 more shows. It's a very good situation. But thank you guys. And yeah, you can donate too if you want to. Not that I need the money. You know, I'm filthy rich. I think you all know that. My stand-up career's through the roof. I almost had 11 people. I haven't been on stage since Hilarities in Cleveland. And I got to be honest with you, folks, I don't fucking miss it. I'm not one of those guys. Ooh, I got to be on every night. I used to be. Went hard, went long. But you know what? Chris Rock said to me years ago, you got to take time out. You got to step away from it, Dipaolo. And I said, yeah, you can do that because you got $1 million in the bank, Chris. You're 6 or 7 million. But he said that. You got to step away from it. I always ask Colin Quinn that, too, another workosaurus. And I remember he actually went to L.A. and wrote for the Wayans brothers for a year or two. So he stepped away. And Andy's writing a love note right now. Dear Kevin, my life partner, your ass is so firm and so yummy. I say that, Andy laughs, and Brendan, he gets like, you can almost see him blushing through the window. You know, they give the millennials a lot of shit, but they're nice kids. They, Fat Black Pussycat, July 5th, that would be me. Thank you for writing that down. It wasn't on the sheet. Yeah, that's next Wednesday. Come see me at the Fat Black Pussycat. And that can work out one of two ways. A lot of times you take time off, the rust is just so obvious. And then there's other times you feel refreshed, like you were born again. And you come out swinging. And it's good. But, you know, I put a lot into my show, my stand-up emotionally. I get emotionally involved. I leave it on the field. If a game. By the way, it's game, not gain. So I'm tapped. And but I still feel the need I gotta get out there and to, because I wrote these 2 nice fat bits. Andy actually saw one of them at a benefit. And I came out of the gate strong 2017, but since the radio took over, and it's a different muscle for me, the radio. People go, don't you get a lot of stand-up from what you talk about on the radio? No. That's topical stuff. It'll be old in a week. And when you go on the road and you're headlining and they want you to do an hour, you can't have holes in your set that need to be replaced every week. You throw some of that in. I don't trust comics who don't have some topical stuff in there. And I don't want to hear this again. I don't want to hear this again. I don't want to read it again. When they're talking about any comic, they'll go, he's really funny and he's clean on top of it. So that makes him like a really good comic. Is that right? So let's take that law. That means Richard Pryor was a hack. Sam Kinison was a hack. Bill Hicks was a hack. I appreciate people being clean, but it's a lot easier when you're talking about hacky, unoriginal shit to be clean than when you're really spilling your guts out there. I hear from comics who have been in the business for a while, and he's really clean. And I go, what does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? I say with my dirty mouth. Well, why is that so impressive to you? Bob Hope was clean. But they think it like, and like Brian Regan's hilarious. He could be, you can't argue with that. He just happens to be clean. But he doesn't, you know what I mean? But to me, that doesn't make it, like, they're saying it's harder to do. And it's not, because the first 10 years of my career, I had TV clean garbage that people absolutely love. And I look back on it as a comic now, my stuff is so much better. Yeah, I drop a fuck every other word. I don't rely on filth to get the laugh, but I curse up a storm, no doubt about it. And if you're offended in 2017 by the word fuck, in a world in which a girl goes, I have a pussy, but I'm a man today. Fuck you. All bets are off. I'm talking filthy. If you got a problem with it, call Cat Timpf at 1-800-7... I don't know why I said that. She asked me to do that show. What's it called? It's the Fox Specialist. Eric Bowling is the host, and she's on it. Ebony Williams. And I gave her a couple dates. She asked for one I couldn't do, and then I gave her a couple more dates in July. I haven't heard back, so I don't know what that means. But she's on the go. But I'd do that. I like to sit in. But again, you don't, and I know how to temper my act when I go on a show like that if I want to. There are some comics, I'd go to a morning radio show, they go, we can't have comics anymore. Why not? Well, so-and-so was here and just was so filthy that they didn't want comics anymore. So you got to be, but I don't want to hear, oh, Annie's clean, that's way harder. No, actually it's not. I could do 109 jokes about muffins. Clean. And try talking about, an ex-girlfriend you want to punch in the face. Do that clean. Then you're impressed me. Or your welding job and you're making 11 cents a year on food stamps and eating government cheese. You know who is clean? And here's a guy, you might not agree with me, you guys. Sinbad is actually funny. And he's, again, two different responses. I look to my right. I got Brendan's head cocked. And the actual stand-up. You don't do stand-up, Brendan, right? A little bit? Yeah. No, we don't count you. You're 25. You don't know shit about the world. But Fiore smiled when I said, and can appreciate Sinbad. And I used to hate him when I was younger. But if you listen to him, he's funny and clean. And I'm not saying, ooh, that makes him better than. I'm just saying he's one of those guys. I don't know how I got on this. What I'm saying is if you come out next Wednesday, the Fat Black Pussycat, and again, I like that room because usually it's filled with people who know it's coming for me. So, although last time there was a gay fella who did not enjoy my show whatsoever. He comes up and he tells me what he didn't like about it and complimented the opening act. And, that's what you chicks do, that catty shit right in front of you. That's how I knew he was gay. And he had plucked eyebrows and really skinny jeans. And, so he tells me, that was too easy, some of that. And then he puts his hand out. And I said, get the fuck out of here. And that's why you should respond, whether it was anybody. It's usually a woman like in her 50s that comes up to me, my 50s, like I'm in my 20s. One of these old bitches. They come up to you and they start this. They think they're kidding. Oh, I'll tell you, I really enjoyed the thing you did about your parents and your knees being old. That was so funny. And I go, stop right there, because here comes a fucking lecture, right? And they go, well, no. I said, stop. And I fucking walk away. And now you can call me an asshole, because you're going to call me to my face anyways, because I did a joke about Ebola, and apparently your niece picked up Ebola while she was blowing a warlord in Burkina Faso. Oh, come on, folks. It's the Nick Dipaolo Show. Lighten up. 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. I love walking in here, folks, every day. It just gets better for Trump and worse for the CNN watchers, which is most of this building. They see me coming down the hall. Maybe it's my imagination, but they put their heads into their little desks and pretend they're busy. I strut through here like a rooster with my tits out, just as proud as the NBC lying peacock, just right up your ass again. Every day. This guy's just winning. I'm getting sick of winning. I think he might have had a point. I love it. I love it. I'll get to that in a second. Him going after crazy Mika Brzezinski and fucking Hillbilly Eyes. What's his name? Joe Scarborough. Should I get into it now? I guess I should. I wanted to talk about the 4th of July and what you guys are going to do. Of course, my family, my brother's, he lives in Ohio, but he's going to make it back to Boston because he's visiting my sister in Vermont first or something. And then my other sister who lives down in Philly, I was just up my parents. I can only take about 10 minutes at a time every couple months, and they feel the same way about me. But it's a fucking 3.5 hour, 4 hour haul. Okay. So I was just there 2 weekends ago. So I'm not going back again. But my mother's 80th birthday is coming up. And of course, the whole family on the group text decided, we'll do it on the 4th of, Sunday. My sister will have a cook. Now I'm odd man out. I'm not going to be there. Just like I wasn't for my cousin's 60th birthday. And, still hearing about that one. So once again, I am a pariah. But that's what happens when you're an a-hole, folks. What can I tell you? Does this bother anybody? I know my wife doesn't like it.
I enjoy it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Hello. So I don't know. 4th of July, I'm going to be kicking around the house. I think I'm going to go to that little nature reserve near not little. It has 40 miles worth of trails on it. I think I will be heading over there. And, I do a light jog through the woods. It's nice. It's soft on your feet. It's all I can handle at this point. Me in my late 70s, my knees are. And I'll jog through the woods. And all you can hear is birds and bullfrogs and me breathing. Maybe me rubbing one out behind a pine tree. That happens now and then. Depends if Hillary's in the woods. But what are you going to do, Flores?
I am going to be doing stand-up in the city all weekend, and then I think I'm going to go see my folks in Jersey.
You doing stand-up in the city? Where?
Yes, sir. New York Comedy Club all weekend.
New York Comedy Club.
4th and 2nd.
There you go. Go see Andy Flowers.
Say hello.
Andy Fiore.
Heard the show.
And Brendan's going back to Kentucky. He's got a couple of cousins. He's going to get drunk, and we don't know what happens with the stars. What? Why do you say that? I don't know. Let's go to Ben in Minnesota. Ben. Minnesota. Ben, how are you?
Good. You were talking about clean comics and stuff, and
yeah.
I just remember back when Comedy Central actually played comedians, and I watched one of your stand-up specials. It was a few years back.
Sure.
I thought one of the funniest bits that had me on the freaking ground was when you were talking about staying in a hotel.
Right.
And you turn the air conditioner on, and it's like you're breathing through a freaking Triscuit, and you did the bit, and I would just laugh my ass off.
Yeah, your nose. That's how good bits get destroyed. People paraphrase them over the years.
Well,
no, it was so dry in the room. You're right. You get a whistle, and your nose like inside your nose like a box of Triscuits, and something about whistling. Something like was it Zamfir? Something to do with a pan flute.
But I just wanted to say, every time I think of you, I always just go back to that moment. Growing up in rural Minnesota, you're not really, you don't see a lot of, stand up. Right. But I just thought that was freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to.
Well, thank you, Ben.
Bring that up.
I appreciate that, man.
And I do appreciate. I have listened to you since, and I appreciate the radio show and your podcast and stuff. I think it's all awesome, and I can't wait to see you on stand up one day. So,
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Appreciate it. People always request that. That's the other thing. I mean, that's you're talking my third year in the business, second year in the business, and those become like signature bits. And I get them, they were pretty funny, the wording. I'm just saying I'm capable of giving you guys 2 hours a year of that. But I want to talk about real shit that angers me, and I guess you do a little of both. That was what I was told. Sprinkle it in. But I argue with Quinn about that, too. He goes, no, you have to do both. And I'm like, no, I want to either commit to one. I like people commit to something and become great at it. And, but I see what he's saying. Even it's wordplay with me. It's a word choice. So that's what I'm known for. So whether it's doing socially relevant stuff that might be a little political, or just, autobiographical stuff or kind of evergreen stuff, but I was talking to a comic in Houston years ago, and he's a well-established guy. I can't remember his name. And we were talking about how we're misunderstood. What people they gravitate to people who kill and stuff. What they don't realize, as far as stand-up goes, making people laugh is the easy part. It's doing it with your own point of view. You know what I'm saying? And having a unique voice, making them laugh. That's the easy part. My old man could go out there tonight, and piss into a beer mug while he's sitting on a. Okay, little facile as far as an analogy, but do you get what I'm saying? To do it under your terms, you don't go out there. And I tell young, and I don't mean to sound like an expert here, but I've been doing it 30 years. It's the one thing I do know about that, and nice firm asses. I'm talking male ones now. Listen, no, but when you go out there, you're not supposed to manipulate the crowd to make them laugh. You're supposed to do what you think is funny, your point of view of the world, and hope they like it. See the difference? As opposed to going out there. We all know enough tricks now. You do this 5 years. If you have enough balls to get up in front of public with a microphone, and if you're a stand-up doing it 3 weeks, you can manipulate the crowd to laugh. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be giving your point of view. Not everybody's going to like it. And you hope they find it funny. And that's why I only think there's really a handful, and there's a million comics, there's really a handful that do it right. It might sound a little elitist, but tough cuckapoo. Let's go to Zach in Pittsburgh, because Zach does some stand-up, and he had a question, I think. Zach.
All right.
What's
I
happening?
just wanted your take on something.
Sure.
When I got into stand-up, about 4 years ago, I kind of said to myself, you know what, there's a million other assholes doing it, and about 900,999 of them are going to fail.
Right.
So I need something unique. So what I try to do, it's not that I won't curse, but I try to do a rated R set with PG language.
Sure.
With PG level words.
Right.
So just, it works sometimes. You do a completely clean set, and just at the end drop a C-bomb. The crowd never sees it coming. It can get a reaction.
I do the opposite. I do about 45 minutes of C-bombs, and I drop a nice clean one at the end.
But you might relate to this, too, because it just pops in my head waiting to call in. I never really understood the term passive-aggressive until I started doing comp, and then had to do it.
Your phone's breaking up, Zach. So, your phone's breaking up, man. What? We got to go. Okay, I lost like the last 15 seconds now. Something about passive-aggressive. He didn't understand the term until he got into stand-up is what I think he said, because I didn't either. That's funny he says that. I didn't either. This business is made... A passive-aggressive is really the quality of a nerd or somebody who's kind of picked on. The people who run the world now. That's why they can't handle Mr. Trump. He's a fucking alpha male, and the media and all the shitheads who hate him, and the people who run the world, the high-tech guys, they're brilliant, but they're nerdy, and they were always afraid of guys like Trump. And this is why I'm enjoying... And you know what? He's handing his head to you. You guys are getting your heads handed to you by a guy you think's just a big, dumb alpha male. And he's kicking your ass up and down, and I'm fucking loving it, said the McDonald's slogan. He is ripping you up and down and beating you 9 ways from Sunday. And I'm glad he went after stupid Mika Brzezinski and her big tits and Hillbilly Joe. I'll get to that in a few seconds. At first I said, ooh, he shouldn't, he's distracting. But no. Then I thought about it for a second. No, he has the mainstream. He's got 19 networks around the clock trying to defeat him. All bets are off. Go after their tits, get personal with them. Let it fly. And I don't want to hear, he's not being presidential. Neither was the last dick, because he gave a good speech. I love it. I love that when I was like, ooh, my first take was, he's going to distract. People are going to hate him. But then I was like, what am I talking about? I voted for this guy because he made fun of a guy in a wheelchair who wrote for the New York Times. Well, that wasn't the only reason, but that made me laugh very hard. So I pull the lever there. Steve in California on line 1. Stevie.
Hey, Nick, what do you say?
Oh, what do you say? What do you hear?
Hey, I saw you in Philly about 2 years ago at the Helium Club, and I got to tell you, it was one of the best shows I ever saw.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say that yesterday? Is this the same Steve?
No.
Really?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, different guy. All right. That's great.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to let you know real quick. If you ever get a chance, Red Fox actually has a clean joke that is absolutely, it's mind-numbingly fantastic.
Is that right?
Crushes. Yeah,
Look it up, guys.
Yeah, it's something about a couple of priests driving a bicycle, and one guy loses a bike. I don't want to ruin it, but
okay, hold on. Yeah, don't give it away. We're gonna pull it up and see if we can find it. Is there actual audio of it, Steve, or did you read it?
No, there is actual audio of it. I heard it on it was either Raw Dog or something. I saw it on.
All right.
Or heard it rather. It was great.
All right. Well, we're gonna find that. Wait, what?
Give me more. What was priest and what?
2 priests and a bike.
Yeah, two priests riding bicycles.
Two priests riding bicycles. That's enough. I'm sure one of the seats is missing. No? Oh, folks.
Oh, come on.
All right, Steve.
All right, thanks, man.
You got it. We'll look that up. I just got a text from Roland. Andy, did you get it?
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
Yep.
Comey is going to call in.
Mm-hmm.
The great Anthony Comey, who makes me laugh as hard as any comic I've ever met. He really is a comedian. He just happens to be sitting down on the radio, but that guy made me laugh so hard one time when he was on with I don't know if it was with, yeah, it was Opie. I had to walk out of I had to go out of the studio and catch my breath. He was doing a stereotypical Italian thing. And by the way, he's not racist. He's what you call an honest white guy. And when it comes to the issue of race and gender and everything else, when you do that, then you label a racist. And if you're not trying hard enough, to be honest. Let's go to Kevin in Vegas. Kevin.
I love what you're saying about choosing this new career, because it seems like most comedians just want to start a podcast and talk about comedy and being a comedian,
right,
rather than be a broadcaster. So, and also we need more right-leaning, like funny men in radio too.
Thank you so much, Kev. Appreciate it. Oh, did he go?
Oh, apparently he hung
That's
up.
it? He's in the desert. You motherfucker! When the fuck did you say I could hang up? That was nice of him. I appreciate what he said. A broadcaster. See that?
Yes.
He distinguished. But I like, and I'm not taking shots at anybody. The Robert Kelly's podcast is hilarious because he chooses funny dudes to go in there with him, and he's funny, and it's a good. But there's a lot of people that you've never heard of that are trying the same formula, and But that's the beauty of it. As Jay Leno said, there's room for everybody. There's room for everybody. He came out saying enough of the Trump shit. He's tired of it, the Trump jokes and stuff. And he's right. He goes, if every late night host is doing it, in the end, you're all doing the same joke, basically. But Seth Meyers has to be put to sleep. That guy, I don't know who anointed him Captain Liberal, and he's way off on all his shit. Way off. I record the shows. I watch them like months later. Watch about 3 Seth Meyers shows before the election and just watch. And again, likable guy. Matter of fact, when his show first came on, I go, this guy would be a good Tonight Show guy. He's a likable, and I've met him. But what the fuck? What is with these libs from New Hampshire? Get him and Sarah Silverman, put them in a boat. She needs to be put to sleep, though. She is just a hateful, hateful woman who, by the way, I know. And doesn't mean I hate her, but she's way off the fucking rails. One more call before we go to break. Malcolm in Denver. Malcolm, how are you?
Nick, thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
Good to hear that all the cables are working today.
I know, right?
You guys are sounding great. Actually, I want to defend the media. I know it's probably not very popular right now.
All right.
But, I mean, the fourth estate is the most important part of American culture, right? That keeps our politicians, or supposed to keep our politicians honest.
Yeah.
And so now that we lost all the trust, nobody does that anymore. So somebody needs to step up. I don't know when it changed. There used to be great people like Cronkite that just...
Oh, bullshit, Malcolm. Wrong, right? Let me stop you right there, Malcolm. He's a fucking... You. He was a card-carrying liberal. He hit it very well, but you read all the shit after he retired. He's kind of a, that's a good question. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you, was there ever a time that you trusted the news?
I trust Fox News right now.
Yeah, but they're partisan.
No, I don't know that. Everybody says that because the rest of the mainstream media is so partisan left. I don't buy that. Well, and I flipped through them, but there's people who hate Trump on Fox, and you wouldn't know that unless you watch as much Fox as I do. You know what I mean? People that hate Fox, I go, okay, do you watch it? No. Well, how do you know it sucks? How do you know they're lying?
Okay, so you might trust them, but the general public lost all faith in...
Well, yes.
Was there ever a time when that wasn't the case?
That's a good...
I feel like, when you grew up, wasn't in the 60s.
No, you're making a good point. When there was 3 networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC, and that was it for news, the nightly news, everybody tuned in to Walter Cronkite and the other lion chooches, and everybody was happy. But then something came along called talk radio and Fox News and pushed up against that narrative. And the CNNs of the world and the NBCs and the ABCs, their response was to call Fox fake. And right now, Fox is looking pretty good after what's going on with the rest of the media. And yes, there are some guys on Fox who actually do, they're pro-Trump or whatever, but they give you a mix at least. Put on MSNBC and CNN, you're not going to get a mix. It's around the clock ripping the president. It's almost comical, but that's actually a good question. I think, when it was 3 networks, we didn't know any better. We were getting the same point of view from all 3. So we didn't know there was another point of view, but there's a reason Fox caught on,
Yeah, let's get the cigarette companies back sponsoring the news. I'm down.
All right, Malcolm.
Thanks so much.
You got it, brother. He's actually right. All right, let's take a break. We come back. Hey, folks, this is the last day before we go away for a long weekend, so I feel loosey-goosey. I'll play. I want to get to Trump's comments about Hillbilly Joe and stuff like that, and then we'll talk about what you guys are going to do on the 4th of July and whatever. We got it's my show. We do what we want, and we'll be fired in 2 weeks. 866-969-1969, Dipaolo Show. Back after this. I reenacted the whole thing at the kitchen table. Nobody appreciates it. Not the wife, not the dog. Welcome back. That song, by the way, again, my favorite movie, it's right up there. Again, The Godfathers are in the category by themselves, but Midnight Cowboy with Dustin Hoffman and John Voight, they're both in their 20s. And it was rated X at the time because of a little montage when he's in bed with his parents. And you didn't know that, did you? They had to change. Trump, just a tremendous movie. It makes me laugh, makes me cry. And I suggest you people who grew up on Porky's 2 and Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood? What the fuck is that?
That was good.
Instead of Meet the Parents, I said Planned Parenthood. Meet the Parents at Planned Parenthood. Have you seen that one? Oh! Anyways, we found the joke. Can we put it on a screen where I can... Okay. Sorry, hold on. Please, the font is -6. Let me read this. This is an old Red Fox joke. Jesus Christ, it couldn't be more inconveniently located. A deacon and an old priest used to take a short ride on a bicycle. No. I'll read it so you can understand. This is a Red Fox joke, a clean joke that this guy thought was so funny. A deacon and an old priest used to take a short ride on their bicycles to church every Sunday for morning service. One Sunday morning, the deacon noticed that the old priest was walking to church. "What happened to your bicycle?" the deacon asked. "Unfortunately, somebody stole my bicycle, and now I must walk to church," the old priest answered. "Well, Father, if you recite the 10 Commandments while walking, I'm sure whoever stole your bicycle will return it," the deacon suggested. The following Sunday morning, the deacon noticed that the old priest was also riding a bicycle to church. "I see that reciting the 10 Commandments worked because you got your bicycle back," the deacon cheerfully said. The old priest answered, "Oh, yes, thank you. When I got to thou shalt not commit adultery, I remembered where I left my bicycle." You big dummy! Not a bad joke. But, the priest, he committed adultery. if I like that. Who'd he commit it with? A Cub Scout?
Of course he did, you big dummy. I'm sorry, son.
These cheats, these fucking... I don't like the... I can't even talk today. It's the trazodone. This is a little low. I don't like it in here. I gotta get my own studio. So that's your situation. I don't know how to make a restaurant. Anyways. People want to talk comedy. I didn't mean to set off a fucking thing, but I'll take a couple more. Two more questions about the comedy. Mike in New York. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, hey, Nick. What's up, man?
What's up?
First, I was listening to the show yesterday. You and Bird were singing that Black Betty, like sorority girl singing "Sweet Caroline."
How dare you, Michael?
I always give you compliments, but I was listening to it on demand. I was like, I wish I can call in right now but I had some points. But what I noticed is, how come old comics always say, "Oh, my old stuff is shit. My old stuff is shit." But it's like, why can't it be good? It's almost like something they have to say, just because.
No, Mike. Let me help you out here. It's like anything else. The more you do, the better you get at it.
I agree.
I mean, if you're, hold on, Mike. I'm the fucking expert here. You just sit and listen and learn something. It doesn't have to suck, but it doesn't suck. But compared to stuff that you're going to write further on down the road, there better be some progress and some evolution in your joke writing. So it doesn't mean it just, again, everything's relative, but.
I know. I just feel like comedians like almost have to say like, "Oh, I sucked back then." Maybe you were pretty good. Don't say you sucked. It's like it takes 10 years. It's like you have to say it takes 10 years. No, maybe you were pretty good. Maybe you were a phenom. Maybe you had the talent.
Yeah, no, that guy doesn't exist, Mike.
I mean, it exists in other things. I'm not saying comedians. Why can't you just be funny? Go up there. I'm not saying I'm that person, but there are guys out there just awesome.
No,
it's not
no,
allowed.
they're not. No, they're not. You know what you're talking about. But are you a comic?
I mean, I think. Yeah, I do stand up, but I'm just an open mic or talk a few times. I'm just trying to learn. I know, obviously, it's a long process, and I accept that. So I'm willing to think maybe if you have to have the mindset that you're awesome no matter what.
That's different. All right, you just changed the conversation. To have the you definitely have to have the mindset you're good. Definitely, you have to think you're the funniest guy alive the day you step on the stage. That's in the DNA of a comic. That's different than what you and I were just discussing, though.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
All right, Mike.
All right, thanks, man.
You got it, brother. No, he's going to get all pissy because I didn't agree with him. I'm not talking to that guy. But no, it's like anything else. You need an open heart surgery on your little kid. Do you want a guy who's been doing it 6 months or a guy who's been doing it 16 years? I go with the 6 months. I hate that kid. Gilligan! Come over here.
What's the idea? Get upstairs.
That's my father. That's my dad every night.
You smoke cocksucker. Fuck you.
You ruined it. You stepped on my shit with your Mao. What the hell's Mao got to do with Mo?
It was slapping.
I'm doing Mo slaps. You're doing Mao slaps. And sumo. Hey, we should redo. We gotta redo that scene with the Stooges. I want Shemp where De Niro was.
You can do it, Shemp.
You can do it. Mo, and sumo. Let's go to Derek in Long Island.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Hey, how are you doing?
Good, how you doing?
All right. I just had a question for you, but I also wanted to get you on a point you made earlier when you were saying MSNBC isn't.
Just get to the don't call up with a fake excuse. If you want to talk politics, go ahead. I don't care, Derek.
No. I'll
all right, go
what
ahead.
I was going to ask first.
All right.
The first thing I wanted to ask was, would you agree that the great comics, the classic guys, the George Carlins of the world, you would agree that they lean left, correct?
Well, first of all, they lean left. Carlin's dead. You're talking past tense. He did lean left because he came of age during that counterculture. But, You know, this business attracts people. You know, it's a liberal art form. People who lean right in their politics usually go into making money and stuff, kind of. They go into business, I should say.
Huh? Obviously, you're a comic that leans to the right, and then as far as I can tell, Dennis Miller's the other one, and I can't think of any others.
Well, no, but that doesn't mean there's not funny ones out there. The business would like to squish a guy. I kind of, you know, I've been doing a good job of walking the tightrope because you have to be funny first, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But this is a left-wing business is what I'm saying. That's who's attracted to it. Kids who got picked on with this. Why is that? Because their parents were fucking hippies and told them money wasn't important and self-esteem issues. All that goes into it. People with good, healthy upbringings are usually parents who are into money and you know.
And so they're the right-leaning comics and the ones that grow up.
No, first of all, you're dividing comics into left-leaning and right-leaning. Most comics aren't even political.
That's true. That's true. Some of the great ones aren't.
Yeah. But I love guys like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Here's the difference. I can laugh. You know, Jon Stewart's funny. And even Al Franken.
Bill Maher is great.
Well, okay, but you're saying, Bill Maher's all right, but he's got, you know, I don't know if you talk about his show.
He has more conservatives on his show than you'll never get the.
Oh, hold on, Derek. Hold on, Derek. He has the dumbest. First of all, they label him conservatives. He brings on moderate Republicans, fucking rhinos, who are the dumbest congressmen I've never heard of, and they sit there like dolts. If anybody from the right,
on that one controversial kid that was like, no, all right, Ann Coulter. That's one of his good friends.
Okay, but that's not
he's moderate.
Ann Coulter. Okay, but Jesus Christ, can I get a fucking word in? You were talking about politicians, weren't you? That he brought on.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Well, he brings on dumb Republican. If you're a Republican, a congressman, and you go on the show, you're stupid to begin with. Because, I mean...
I don't think so.
I know you don't. It's because you're dumb, too. But listen to me.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
No, you're not. I'm just being a radio show host. But but no,
and I can take it.
Derek, why would you go on? People ask me, why haven't you gone on there? I go, why would I go on? First of all, they wouldn't invite me. Fucking, they're afraid of me. Secondly, why would I go on there? And even if I said something funny or smart, the audience would sit on their hands or fucking, you know, moan. Why? What good would come out of that?
Well, I don't think that would happen. I mean, and I'm going to use Bill Maher as a great excuse because he has views that his audience does not agree with. He's very anti-Muslim, for example, and they moan at him, and it's his fucking show.
Well, that's
I love him is because he has a fucking pair of balls and conviction, and that's what's missing from the Democratic Party. That's why Hillary lost, and that's why.
Okay. Now let me refute everything. Let me refute everything you just said. Number one, it doesn't take Bill Maher. It doesn't take balls to be on HBO and be a liberal and saying your point of view. Recently, he's gone after Muslims a little bit. And I mean, does that take a lot of balls going after what they're doing around the globe? Secondly, what was your second point that you just said?
My second point was the reason that Democrats are failing these days is because they get a guy like Bernie Sanders who has conviction,
right,
a pair of balls, and they fucking push him to the side because the media, it's not liberal, it's corporate. Because if there was a liberal media, then they would have embraced Sanders, and they didn't. They embraced Clinton when no one else did.
No, I get your point there. She was definitely. I know, but you look at see, it's all skewed. You look at Hillary Clinton as a moderate, and I don't.
I look at her as a fucking half Republican with baggage.
Yeah, which is silly to me.
Terrible.
That's silly to me. You look at Obama as half a Republican too, because he's owned by Wall Street.
No, I don't look at her as Republican. She's owned by Wall Street. I look at her as Republican because she was very pro-war, and Sanders was very anti-war. The same qualities that attracted people to Trump were attracting people to Sanders. It's like they were both outsiders.
No, that's right.
If the Democratic Party wasn't such scumbags, they would have embraced him, and you would have had a real fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're a socialist. You're a socialist.
No, I'm not a socialist. I just like people with a fucking pair of balls.
I do too.
I could give a fuck about free college. I don't care.
I agree. I am agreeing. You're right, Derek. No, you're actually right.
We have more in common, and you know what the thing I find funny is anyone who really does take a side, and you know most of the time we all want the same thing, you know, and we fight over this while both parties fuck us both. I mean. Both parties are fucked up.
You say we all want the same thing pretty much. I don't think that's true. We got a bunch of half the country's leeches. They want to lay on their fucking couch, suck off the government's tit. And the other half wants very little government. That's the half I fall with.
Yeah, but you know, funny thing is, the Republican Party hasn't really been into that little government.
No, you're right. No, you're right. You're right, Derek. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I hate the moderates, too. There's nobody far right enough for me. I won't.
I get it, and I respect that. I don't know what the fuck I am.
I don't.
I think I'm old school liberal, but
right.
I don't care about free college and all that shit. I could give a fuck about that.
I hear you.
I just think both parties have been fucking us for too long, and if we continue to fight with each other, we're getting distracted while they really do the damage. And fucking, what do you think about fucking? The two heads of Congress right now, fucking Paul Ryan and the Turtle Man. What do you think of them? Because I think they got to go.
Paul Ryan and who?
You know, fucking Mitch McConnell.
Oh yeah, no, they make me sick to my stomach. Mitch McConnell, they're
awful.
Yeah, they're horrendous. They are typical of what needs to go. I agree with that, and I agree with you. Like Bernie, I mean, I hate his politics and shit, but I loved the first time I saw him, like on those Sunday morning shows years ago. I go, this guy, I love it. He's a salty Brooklyn Jew, but he's living in Vermont. And he just believed what he believed. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's really what lost it for the fucking Democrats was DNC fucking. You know, there's an old adage. They say Republicans fall in line, Democrats fall in love. And Democrats fell in love with Bernie Sanders, and they had to kick him to the curb. And all the Republicans that were against Trump fell in line.
Yeah. Yeah,
they all did.
Yeah, you're right. And why isn't the mainstream media, the 19 outlets that have been going after Trump nonstop around the clock, why aren't they outraged about what happened, how Bernie Sanders got fucked?
Because they're not a liberal media, they're a fucking corporate media. And that's why they try
what is a liberal media? What's a definition of a liberal media, Derek?
Well, the term that gets thrown around by conservatives saying the media is liberal, I argue that saying.
Well, in their point of view, but you're saying it's a corporate, and you're equating that with right wing corporate, right? Is that what you mean?
No, not at all. They're for the status quo, and before the election of Trump, they were fucking for the corporate, and at that point, the status quo was Democrats.
Right.
Now it's all flipped around. I don't know. Listen, the media are idiots because what they should be doing, especially now Trump, he's such a pussy. He can't handle criticism, so now you can't film the press conferences. It's true, dude. Admit it. And now he doesn't want to film the press conferences because because they always get on him. So the media, idiots that they are, what they should do is say, fine, you don't want us to film it? Every time Trump says something, instead of putting up that Twitter picture, they should put up that picture of him laying on the bed. You know, like put up the worst picture and then he'll start fucking filming the press conferences again.
Okay. Thanks, Derek.
I'm all over. I'm sorry.
You're good call, brother. Good call. Call back, man. It was enjoyable.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye. Take care. I love this show. I fucking love this show. I love that I came down from Boston, a left-leaning, which my hometown I still love. I could live there in a second. But I love that I came down here 1989, 90. And I like the people. I like Jersey guys. I like New York, Long Island. There's so many different pockets, you know? Quinn from Brooklyn. It's I got hemorrhoids. They're hanging down like Napa Valley grapes. I've tried everything. I've put apple cider vinegar on them, coconut oil. I have a sweet and sour asshole as I talk to you people. And some out!
Don't go out!
Oh, no more.
Out! Out!
I'm gonna Willis out of here.
Out!
You got an empty chamber in that gun.
Out!
Put an empty chamber in that gun.
This is what I do on the 4th of July with my family. All right, kill it, Flowers. That's Andy's favorite thing in the whole world.
It is.
One of the greatest scenes in the... Did I tell you? I don't know if I said on the air I got some feedback from the audition. Did I say that yesterday?
No, I think we were just talking before.
They said I did very well, and Scorsese supposedly looked at it yesterday.
Nice.
But I don't believe that for a second. Guy's busy. You know?
Well, he's still got to do it.
If he saw it yesterday, we should have heard something today. Is that how it works?
That's a comic thinking.
Well, yeah. And let me tell you, if I don't get a call back, that's it. That is it. I'm telling my agent, unless if it says, and it won't because I'm not famous enough, but if it says a Nick Dipaolo type, I'm not coming in. Fucking done. I couldn't have done better. Well, I can do better if Scorsese gives me some notes. Anyways, I'm saying Mr. Martin Scorsese. Anthony Comia, folks, he's going to be calling in at the top of the hour, the second hour. That would be 7 o'clock here in the East. He's one of my favorites. He's just a funny MFer. I love his politics. Another Long Island guy, right? His show airs, the Anthony Comia Show, Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. Head to compoundmedia.com. Doesn't he have another one? Oh, and at Anthony Comia on Twitter. At Anthony Comia on Twitter. The Anthony Comia Show is Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. Head to the compoundmedia.com for all the information on how to subscribe. Our Father. What are you guys doing on the 4th? I'm going to throw M80s at my cousin's face. Anybody else? I don't know what I'm going to do. Going to be up at the house. Maybe just... don't look at me like that.
Why am I not looking at you like
that? I'm going to do... You know what I'm going to do? And you guys think I'm kidding? Just to burn calories and shit? I might... Since everything's doom and gloom on TV, I might dig myself one of those survival holes. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get me a shovel and a pick. Brandon's laughing. Everybody in Kentucky has one behind the house. I'm telling you, I'm going to do like Brad Pitt did in the movie California. He was completely naked. That's how I know that director was gay. Did you ever see California with a K?
Yeah, but so long ago.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. The guy should get an Oscar. Did you see it, Brendan? Oh, dude, please. And I brought this up many times. Brendan's looking at me weird. But he's like completely naked in a hole digging. That'll get some of the girl listeners, all two of them, to watch California. But like the moon's out. He plays a redneck, and Juliette Lewis is his like retarded hillbilly girlfriend, and he's just so mean to her. And he's a serial killer. He's vicious, and oh, dude, I'm telling you, I'm like, this son of a bitch can act. He's like, and he does this like he's got a, when guys snort in like that. He doesn't spit. He just goes. It's like a nervous twitch. And he goes to his girlfriend, put your titty away, Adele. Anyways, Comia, right? When we come back, I just want to, and we'll touch on Trump and what he said, and we can argue about whether he should be on Twitter or not. Twitter. I keep saying Twitter. What's the other stories I pulled? It was kind of slow today, folks. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, in Paris, they have a no-go zone app. Do we have that in this country for dangerous minority neighborhoods for white people not to
I didn't know what you meant.
Yeah. There is an app. I know a couple tried to start it, a white couple.
Never heard.
And they caught a bunch of shit. But in Paris, they actually an actual app. It's very popular, a no-go zone app, because there are areas where, Sharia law is practiced. And for us to look at Europe and say, we don't want to make those mistakes. That makes you a racist over here, which is fucking priceless to me. So we can talk about that. And again, Trump losing his shit on Twitter, which I personally, I'm all for. Aren't you? Sure you are. So when we come back, hopefully Anthony Comia will be calling in. If you like to chat, 866-969-1969. Back after this. Is that Jimmy?
It is.
Damn. Got a good voice, too. Guy was happening. I used to hang with him at the Cafe Kagakuku. I dropped acid with him at Six Flags. It's a guy that doesn't know how to lie, has his timeline. I dropped that. I'm not kidding you. I got in a fight with him and another guy at Burger King. You ever hear? Is it T.J. Miller?
Yeah.
His offbeat impressions. I almost went off the road one night. I was coming home listening to Raw Dog or whatever. Jesus Christ. I like that guy. He's got a screw loose. And he walked away from that show, right?
No. Silicon Valley.
And then but then he's out in the open about it. He didn't like the other actors. And I really like this guy. But he does these offbeat and pray. He goes, here's an impression of a guy who doesn't know how to use the word clusterfuck. I might get the joke, but he goes, yeah, I brought a hot waitress home the other night, and I clusterfucked her. Makes no sense. Andy, you got to fucking, he went. Then he's talking about a girl who doesn't know how to talk about her menstruation cycle. She doesn't know how to do it, like, you know. So, they're at a restaurant with her friends or something, and she's like, oh, if the waiter comes, get me the, I don't know, something like, get me the chicken parmesan, but hold the marinara. I brought my own. That is the stupidest. He had about 5 of them, and I was swerving all over the road. Just, I like that guy. I like him. He's a little off.
I just learned that after you diss somebody, like if you insult them, you're supposed to snap. But he didn't learn how many snaps were appropriate.
Yeah, I didn't like this one, but play it anyway.
I'll watch this.
And it's a visual.
Hey, Payless Shoes called. They want those shoes back.
Andy picks a visual.
Do it on the fly.
What was his ass? He picks the one.
I didn't know what it was.
All right, enough.
But then he blew.
All right. Yeah, tell something. The field parmesan, but hold the marinara. I brought my own. Oh my God! I almost did donuts on the highway. I was laughing so much. I took this girl home and I clusterfucked her. Come see me Wednesday night, Fat Black Pussycat. Could ya? Would ya? We're waiting for Mr. Comia. He's going to be calling in real soon. 866-969-1969 is the phone number. And, is that him? Mm-hmm. I notice a certain area code that tells me I pick up things like that. I'm like a cop. Let's say hello to Anthony Comia, one of my favorites and the funniest dude on the planet. Anthony.
Mr. Nick Dipaolo. What's up, man?
Sorry to bother you right before the long weekend. You're probably 8.
No, it's not a bother at all. I'm in fucking Long Island Expressway traffic. So, you know, what this is the treat of my fucking afternoon.
Oh, my God. The whole world must be heading that way, right?
It's ludicrous. It's insane. Yeah, every on-ramp, off-ramp, everything's just packed. I got a $240,000 car here that can't do 5 miles an hour.
That's right. Yeah, what are you sitting in right now? What kind of car?
A Jaguar F-Type SVR. You want to hear it?
Yes, go ahead. Rub that fucker.
For how long I'm able to actually do it?
Yes. Oh! It sounded like you had an 18-year-old girl in the back seat.
Well, 25-year-old in the passenger seat.
Okay. Now, are you heading home, or are you? You know why it's so crazy? Yeah, and I hate to, I'm sure you'll agree with me on this, but you think it has anything to do with the fact that there might be anywhere between 15 to 35 million illegals living in the country? That might pack the highways a bit.
Yeah, that could probably do it. I just pointed at a car that had stickers all over the windows and everything, and it was ISIS writing. like it wasn't even like Mexican or anything. It was like that. You know that writing they do that looks like pubic hairs in a sink. It was all over the guy's car. I'm like, where's this guy going? And why isn't he being pulled over?
That's what it's called, That's the font. It's called Arabic pubic.
Arab pubic.
Yeah, Arab pube. It's, you know where that car's going? To Shirley.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Shirley or Mastic or one of those hidden fucking towns out there on Long Island. Oh my God.
Ant, let me ask you real quick. What did you think? Just I'm doing radio host guy here, but
of course,
didn't you? I like Trump going after fucking Joe Scarborough and the big-titted blonde. People are saying, no, he shouldn't go. He's lowering himself, and this isn't presidential. I'm like, fuck that. He's a man of the people, and let him have it.
Yeah, don't do that. First of all, the guy he came down that escalator to run for president 2 years ago.
Right.
It's already been 2 years since that, and every second of every day, people have been telling him what not to do, and he's the
winning.
president of the United States. I think he figured it out. I don't think it's just been this amazing coincidence of errors that have put him in the position he's in right now. He knows what he's doing. If he's making fun of that stupid Mika on MSNBC, he has a reason that he's doing it. It's like everything else. When he said, "Oh, Comey better hope nothing was recorded," and everyone just started going, "He said it was on tape." It's like, no, you don't. It was a perfect ploy where he didn't say it was on tape, but made Comey go, "Hey, was that on tape?"
Yes.
He's playing this shit brilliantly because we've watched morons try to tap dance around political correctness they shouldn't say, and now we're seeing a real guy play shit like a real guy is supposed to. Good for him. Fuck that bitch.
That's exactly right. He is an anomaly. And he's the guy might be, I laugh. People, he's a big dummy and doesn't speak the King's English. I think he's a bit of a genius. I was never, when I saw him on The Apprentice and shit, and I used to go, this guy's got $1 billion. He seems like a real dope. But I like everybody else misjudged him. He's such an idiot that he came in number one as far as New York real estate and the rest of the world. He dominated that market. Then he ran for president, had no show, won that. Yeah, what a fuck. I like to be half that retarded.
You know what it is too? You look at everybody that calls him stupid, they have whatever jobs they have or anything. I'm sure you're pulling in, 25 to 30K a year, and they're calling a guy that's a billionaire that figured out how to be president of the United States retarded and an idiot. Like, just the position he's in right now negates however retarded you think he might be. He figured something out that we all think looks retarded.
Exactly. And don't you think, I think, what contributes to the hatred of him is that he is a white, heterosexual alpha male in a world that's being run right now by tech nerds, fucking little pukes that I used to bitch slap when I saw him in gym class, and I'd do it again today. Your thoughts?
Your thoughts. You are absolutely right. The guy, he is the epitome of what is evil today. A straight white male. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got handsome kids and a beautiful daughter. He's rich, and he's the president of the United States. The most evil thing you could possibly think. He's a white guy. You know who is a hero today? I did a story today, and it was funny because I had Vincent Curatola on. Hi, by the way.
Yeah. Tell him I said hello.
And I wanted to find a story that would discuss this guy. He's the guy that played Johnny Sack on Sopranos, and just a real old school Italian guy, really good
Great guy.
So I found a story. 52-year-old father decides he wants to be 7 or 6-year-old girl. And here's a guy in a little dress with little Shirley Temple curls, and it wasn't a parody. It wasn't a satire. This guy really thought, because it's 2017, and he's been brainwashed by these morons, that he can do this. Whereas years ago, the guy would have done the right thing and put a fucking gun in his mouth. Now he puts a dress on, and he's a 6-year-old girl now.
That's a good point. Years ago, he put a gun in his mouth, but now you're right. It'll go viral. He's a hero.
He's a hero.
Yeah.
Good for you. You feel who you are. And then Donald Trump, we shouldn't have people from war-torn countries coming over here. Oh, he's the worst person ever. Fuck you.
Every time I see Joe Scarborough And I look at those eyes of his, those hillbilly eyes. I hear this. Mika, let me suck on them big titties.
Oh my God! Absolutely.
He should be
have a fetal alcohol syndrome face. No one does.
He's a smart guy. He's got a great head of hair, and he is a bright guy. But Jesus, I mean, it's unbelievable. He's got those eyes. Then, I can't not focus.
Could you imagine? He's got to sit there with
Zika.
With what, his wife?
I mean, Mika. Zika. I just call it Zika.
Is it Mika?
Zika. Zika Brzezinski.
Mika's his wife, and he's got to sit there every day and talk about the news with her and shit.
Yeah, that is.
Get out of here. And Trump's response was like a junior high school girl. She wanted to sit at the table and his face was bleeding.
I know, and my initial response was, here he goes again. He shouldn't, But then I was like, you know what? In a world where, a guy points to his pee-pee and says, I'm a woman, and I have to agree to it, fuck that. He can go after her, and all bets are off. He can be as childish. And by the way, the president is a man of and for and by he's one of us. He doesn't have to be a Harvard Law Review guy. That's what I like about him. And again, my initial reaction was, I don't have to lower you. Then I was like, fuck that. Rip her head off and rip his,
Yeah, because he's a guy. Like you said, an alpha guy. A few weeks back when he was over in Europe, I guess, and he just pushed that guy out of the way. Like, that was such a great move. Like, no, I'm the president. Of what I do.
Yeah, I'm the president of the United States, by the way. Get your little shitty Albanian country out of the way. I get my face in the picture.
Yeah. Move. And it's just, that's who he is. And people that, suggest that he stop doing this stuff, no, I want him to do this for 2 terms. I want him to just keep tweeting and being an asshole. And, and he knows how to deflect shit. That whole Russia thing is done now. It's just done.
Right.
Like, CNN has exploded.
Yeah.
Like, for how fake we thought CNN was, it was even worse than we imagined.
That's right.
And that all gets exposed, and the Russia thing amounts to nothing. So now all these lefty lunatics have no idea what to do with themselves because they thought the impeachment proceedings were tomorrow.
Yeah.
So now they don't know what to do with themselves, and I couldn't be happier watching them all lose their mind.
How Anthony, how is CNN even on the air today after a couple weeks of had? How are people still watching that tonight and going, yes, this is where I get my news? You got to be shitting me.
I was saying the same thing. It's like any legitimate news agency would have cleaned house and just set up a week-long just a screen that apologizes to America, and then you come back a week later with a whole new crew. Maybe then. But as far as it is now, who's going to CNN for real news when they've just been proven to be in the pockets of the Democrats, the liberal agenda that they have, the Black Lives Matter and the trans community.
And they fixed the Bernie Sanders. They fixed the Hillary-Bernie fight.
Oh, yeah. That whole thing. And now Bernie
Donna Brazil.
My fast now. It's great. I tell you, it's a great time to
be you and I
in the broadcasting and have things to talk about like this because the world is going nuts. This country is out of control. Every day there's stories in the news that are just like, this can't be real. I got to look at the top and see if it's from The Onion or some other parody site, and it's supposedly the real news. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's a good time to be leaning right in your politics and to watch CNN crumble like it is. And Trump's actually, like he said, he said you're going to be sick of winning. He's actually, I'm starting to believe this guy.
Now, I'm getting a lot of shit from people that say, where's your wall, dude? Where's the wall? Like, well, first of all, if you didn't have a shitload of you lefty Democrats blocking every single thing he wants to do,
right.
Maybe there would be a wall start being built. But at this point, my answer is I don't give a shit if the wall's built or not. I just want a president that wants a wall built.
That's right.
If he can't get it built because of these assholes, liberals, progressives in the way, I understand. It's politics. There's a lot of red tape.
Right.
But at least this is a guy who fucking wants that wall built and wants to keep America free from these degenerates and freeloaders that want to come in here.
And who's going to guard that wall? You, Adam Schiff? You, Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah. Oh, Pelosi's just dude. It's Alzheimer's, right? It's got to be.
Yeah, it's
her head's shaking like Jesse Ventura.
Yeah,
she's fucking babbling like an idiot. She doesn't know anyone's names anymore.
She's shaking like
Trump, President Bush.
She's shaking like Janet Reno on a mechanical bull with no shirt on in February. Hello, folks. Hey, Aunt, I'll let you go. I know you're on your way. You got a chick next year. You're in a Jag, and you're heading to the Hamptons to probably do some blow. And I kid. Naturally, he doesn't do that anymore. You're heading to your house right now, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm just going to my house. I got.
He's got a great house too.
I got a party going. So, are you around Sunday?
You know what?
You doing anything? I got a party at my house Sunday, man.
You still have T-Rex in the back?
Yeah, the dinosaurs.
Yeah, okay, then I'm coming.
The pool's blazing hot. A lot of people are coming over.
You turn the sperm skimmer up. I'll be there. My Speedo.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'll kick it around. I'll see what Yeah. I have to talk to the commander in chief, but that could be a possibility.
Hey, hell yeah.
Hey, Aunt, thanks a lot, dude. I want to get, I'd have you in here, but
I want to have you back on also at some point.
Absolutely.
It's always fun. Vincent was great today. He says hi. He fucking loves you, man.
Johnny Sack I hit it off with that guy like we knew each other our whole lives when I met him in Vegas.
Dude, I was sitting there for 2 hours talking with him today like I was sitting with my Uncle Tony at Thanksgiving or something. We're just talking about everything that pisses us off, and it's so freeing.
I know.
He's great.
I didn't know anything about his politics either until I met him on your show.
Oh,
but
man.
He makes you and I look like a couple of Cub Scouts.
Yeah, you can assume his politics, but then to see him in action is like, oh, good.
Yeah.
There are people that aren't fucking scared shitless.
All right, Anthony. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you.
All good, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care. All right. That's the great Anthony Comey. And again, check out his show. Not that you guys don't know already, but the compoundmedia.com, Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. You get all the information at compoundmedia.com. And follow him on Twitter at Anthony Comey. He was talking about Vince Carrotola, who is Johnny Sack on The Sopranos, who is, he's funny. He's funny. You think you might lose your edge when you get to that. Anyways, let's go to Wayne in my home state of Massachusetts. Wayne, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks a lot.
What's up, buddy?
Well, I was listening to you guys talk about Donald Trump like he's some sort of freaking genius or some sort of God or something. And
no, he's not.
I just wanted to put a different perspective on it.
All right.
And the different perspective is that you guys work in the entertainment industry, correct?
Yes, I do some construction, but go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. And Trump is a celebrity who also works in the entertainment industry.
That's correct.
And a lot of the stuff he's doing you might think is funny and fun and interesting. And, like people who want anarchy will think that that's fun and funny and interesting.
No, those are different people. Those are people who hate Trump who want anarchy.
No, that's not necessarily true.
Yeah,
not everybody that doesn't like Trump wants anarchy.
No, I didn't say everybody, but most of them.
I wouldn't say most of them.
The people that have burned down.
I mean, if you believe that, then there would be riots in the streets.
Yeah, well, when there's riots in the streets,
that in itself proves you wrong.
Well, no, when there are riots in the streets, those usually are anarchists. They're not Trump fans. They're people from the far left.
Did I say they were Trump fans? No, I didn't.
What did you say?
When there's riots in the streets, typically those people don't vote for anybody. They don't like Hillary Clinton. They don't like Donald Trump. They don't like anybody.
All right.
Okay,
fair.
so don't put those people in the same category as people that are anti-Trump for whatever reasons they might be.
Okay.
And you guys can go on and on about how this guy's some freaking genius or whatever.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you,
nobody said that. By the way, we haven't called him a genius once. But go ahead.
He's like you were talking about.
He's like an idiot savant, I guess. Maybe an idiot savant, something like that.
Yeah. But, you know, if you look at what's going on from a day-to-day basis, the embarrassment of it, I mean, I know you think it was cool how he went after that lady today or whatever, and she's on TV, and sure, she's a target and everything, but he's the president of the United States.
What?
He's not you. He's not the guy that's driving his Jaguar with his 25-year-old girlfriend that I was just listening to, who completely talks out of his ass.
Yeah.
He's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And you guys are taking the highest office in the freaking world, and you're putting it down to the lowest.
Oh, it's the highest office in the world? That's pretty arrogant.
You don't think that the president of the United States
is he the most important person in the world? Who'd you vote for? Hey, Wayne, who'd you vote for?
Well, I voted for Kasich in the primary, and then since he didn't get in, I voted for Hillary Clinton in the
there you go. Nice talking to you. The fuck off my phone. I took it on purpose knowing that's what was going to come in. Wayne from Massachusetts and his Trump didn't do it all on his own. Just another bitter. Yeah, he's a dope. He's such a dope. Became a billionaire. Oh, but it was his daddy's money. They got an answer for everything. Then he ran an election where nobody gave him a chance right up till 9 o'clock of the election. And he won that. And you can't handle it. Ugh. He's a bit of a genius in some way. I'm not sure what way it is. You know what I mean? Idiot savant. The guy's a novice, right? When it comes to politics. Let's go to Jimmy in Tennessee. Jimmy.
Nick Dip.
What up, man?
Hey, man. I was just saying I used to fly a lot. Well, I still do. I used to buy the local paper wherever I was flying out of, or the USA Today. But now, oh, God, I buy the National Enquirer. It's so much more fun to read. It's just, they got a new thing going on now where they go back to some of their classic issues, where they got like a split screen on the front page. I don't know if you read it lately.
No.
But the last one I bought on an airplane, on one side was Jesus caught sleeping in church. And on the other side was mailman kills wife and mails all body parts to all 50 states. Now, if that doesn't beat anything the Post or the Philadelphia paper can put, that's what I buy now. Because the rest of the stuff is freaking boring.
The Enquirer used to be, it started out a cheesy tabloid, but then it got good. It got the OJ stuff right. It changed its reputation. It's been right about a lot of stuff. But my favorite headline ever, I was in L.A. at the supermarket, and I looked down at the National Enquirer. This is like in the mid-'90s or early 90s. It said, "Amazing children cry rocks." All right, Jim. Thanks. Take it easy. Excuse me. Damn. I'm smoking a lot of cigarettes and not working out. Trying to speed it up. Did you give me the 3? I wasn't looking.
It's down to a 2 now.
It's down to a deuce. Goodness gracious. Tommy in Long Island, also stuck in traffic, so we give him a... Tommy, we got about a minute and a half, so if you could... Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, how you doing?
What's up?
You doing, Nick?
What's up, buddy?
Yours and Anthony's. I wanted to give a shout-out to Anthony. I'm actually from his hometown in Huntington Station, Long Island. But you guys are so on point. I mean, I'm in this traffic, such a nightmare. You bring sanity to my world. That idiot Wayne from Massachusetts talking out of his ass. Trump's the president of the United States. Whether you like him or not, you got to support him. And I think like you said, everybody says, "Oh, his father gave him the money." His father didn't give him $1 billion.
No, he didn't.
Nowhere near that. That guy built an empire. The guy is brilliant.
He has a certain, they make him out to be a dope, but he's making an ass of all of them. So that's what makes it. And I'm telling you, thanks for the call, by the way, because we're coming up on a break. Was that a 1 or a 30? Anyways, he's just, I don't know what I was saying. He's focused and he's mentally tough. I can't believe the resistance that he's getting and still winning. But they'll keep digging. Special counsel, they'll make something up, But at least everybody's aware of it now, and we all know that CNN's a fucking joke. Anyhow, when we come back, we'll talk about what you guys want to talk about. 4th of July, what are you going to do? Are you going to drink? Are you going to go away? Do you have a pool? Is it above ground, below ground? What kind of sticks of dynamite? That's what my cousin used to get. Anyways, we'll talk about all that and whatever else you want to talk about. Back after this. This equipment can suck my cock. How about that? Did you hear that? The microphone can suck my cock. This shit was here with Marconi. All right. Back to the show. What are you guys doing on? Let's send out a song to Mika Brzezinski. I call her Zika Brzezinski because her tits are so huge, her head looks tiny. It's like a Zika baby. This goes out to Joe and Mika. Left and right, politics, get it? Joe Walsh? I think it is.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. What do you think it is? Kevin Bacon and his brother?
I don't know.
You don't know how to make a band. And this is the song that goes out to Joe Scarborough and those beautiful eyes. He's sitting on a bridge over a river in Arkansas, finger popping his sister. You could probably do that. You play guitar.
This is banjo.
I know, but I'm saying.
Much harder.
It's harder, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
Steve Martin can play a mean band. Too bad he couldn't do comedy. Back to the show. Anyways. What are you guys doing over the holidays? Colin, I'd like to hear. I'm not going to bring up it's the last segment of the week, right? We're off tomorrow, folks. Best of. Then Monday, best of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday is the 4th.
Is the 4th.
Wednesday, we're back. And I go back to the stage, which is going to be a little nerve-wracking. I got to be honest. I know, everybody says that, but I put that pressure on myself. I try to. But trust me, I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down like one of the Kennedys in the kitchen of a California hotel. Oh, Gilligan, stop it. What am I going to talk about? Might as well take the calls. Chucky in Boston. Our old friend Chuck. Charlie.
Yeah, how you doing, Nick?
What up, Chucky?
See, I'm 100% pro-Trump. And there's a difference between making jokes about him and saying shit like there was people saying, oh, he's not going to do a good job, he's going to start World War III. And that shit is unacceptable because you didn't give the guy a fucking chance.
That's right.
As far as jokes go, I even make jokes about Trump. I mean, somebody said he looks like an orange eating a lemon, which I thought was fucking funny.
That's right.
So no matter what anybody says about Donald Trump,
right,
that makes the other politicians, even though he wasn't one before this, even worse than him because instead of electing a politician, we fucking elected Archie Bunker.
Yeah, which is, you know what? It's not the more American than Archie Bunker. Okay? I'd elect him before I'd elect Meathead and his dumb wife and fucking Edith. Nothing more American than Archie Bunker.
Right. Have a good weekend and have a good 4th.
Chucky, love you. Take care, buddy. God bless Arch. I like big tits. There's they have a no-go zone app in Paris. Okay, you guys, we can talk about whatever. But I found this interesting. An app has been launched in Paris, France. Well, thanks for clarifying that it's Paris, France, and not Paris, Maine. Oh, there is a Paris, Maine, actually. I can't believe I just said that. I pick all the states. There is a fucking Paris, Maine. Which warns people if they are in a no-go zone and gives live alerts telling users if they are at risk of sexual assault.
Listening? Your mother sucks fucking big fucking elephant dicks.
That's what that's what they hear, the girls in France, when they go out from refugees and migrants. The app allows users to report assaults, thefts, sexual molestation. Imagine you have to have an app to report sexual molestation, rudeness. If you got one, if sexual molestation's in it, you have to put rudeness in, doesn't they? Kind of
rude.
Isn't that a subset of? Oh, he stuck 2 fingers in my asshole. That was rude. In the capital city, which has seen illegal immigrants camping on the streets near metro stations, women in the East Paris district of Chapelle-Parlot claim they cannot leave their homes without receiving verbal abuse from migrants and drug dealers who have flooded to the area. I love that they have little pictures in this story, like aggression. It has like a little stick figure of a guy stepping on a guy's head, and then harcèlement, which is harassment, I guess. It's 2 silhouettes. A guy's got his hand on going up a girl's ass or something. And apparently the 2 fingers, that's derogatory over in France. What does that mean?
Really?
That's a thing you do when you're in Hawaii.
That's how I do it every rock concert I'm ever at.
Yeah, what does that mean? Is that a devil thing?
I know, yeah, they got the hook 'em horns, UT.
Which is not what you're doing at a rock
devil
concert.
Horns.
Oh, is that devil horn? And then you got a girl's ass all in.
Let me look it up.
Some people reviewed the app over there. They said online, it's an indispensable application for anyone who thinks that the cultural enrichment of non-natives is not compatible with our way of life. It's another way of saying these migrants are really not behaving themselves. But do we have that over here? I read a story. It was a white guy and a white woman. I don't know if they were married or not. It was a couple. They tried to start an app for dangerous black neighborhoods for white people. And they caught a, rash of shit. But this thing is caught on over there in Paris. Not exactly, by the way, a right-wing bastion of conservatism. So it must be pretty bad over there. In October 2016, the French government under the Prime Minister Manuel Valls denied there's no-go zones in the country after visiting an area where a police officer was left in a coma following a Molotov cocktail was thrown at him. The Prime Minister's assertion was rejected by French police unions who said no-go zones do exist and that police, firefighters, and pretty much any representatives of the state are unable to safely carry out their duties in such areas. French authorities have identified 751 sensitive urban zones across France with a high number of Zeus neighborhoods and Champs-Denis. Also, Molenbeek. There's an area called Molenbeek has become well known for violence, drug crime, Islamism, and sheltering the 2015 Paris. Well, remember that attack? The Bataclan concert. Is that, could we have that up in this country? There are neighborhoods that if you wandered into it at the wrong time, you're dead meat.
We do have that app.
What's it called?
Red Zone.
It's called Red Zone. I wouldn't have picked that color. I would have went with the tan zone. What does that mean? Well, I'm tan. Could be an Italian neighborhood. You guys thought I was jumping? You don't know. But that's the thing. It wouldn't be, would it? A couple of years ago, two British guys in a bar down in Miami, somewhere near Miami, came out of the bar, made a wrong turn. They both got murdered. And it made the news, I think, made page 4, I think, of, even the New York Post. It was like a blurb. Just two white guys wandering around, bang, bang, British tourists, dead. Again, reverse the race, the neighborhoods. That's why we bring up race in this, we always bring up race and, you know, I always go, okay, but who's more at risk? Because, again, we always want to equivocate in this kind. Who's more at risk? A white guy in the wrong neighborhood in Detroit, in Atlanta after midnight, or a black guy, let's say, in Bensonhurst at midnight? Seriously, who's more in danger of getting whacked? So they have an app for this in Paris that tells you don't go in there. They're practicing Sharia law and whatnot. I don't see why that. I think we should have that. You know, I'm trying to think about gentrified neighborhoods, and you know, when gay people take over neighborhoods, it becomes the property values go up and everything gets nice and stuff. That's why I'm for more gay people. But them banging each other doesn't help make more gay people. Well, it can. Oh, God, help me. Billy in New York, what are you doing on the 4th of July, Billy? Anything? Please tell me he's at least playing the harmonica. That's not like a recording he hits.
No, I think he's got a bunch of different recordings.
Why does that make me laugh like that? Cracked me up. Didn't we already talk to Brendan in Long Island today?
I don't remember.
Maybe there's more than one, huh? Brendan.
Yeah, Nick, I haven't spoken to you yet.
What are you doing today on the 4th of July weekend?
Hanging out with the family and going golfing for the first time in 2 years. So,
where are you going golfing? Tell me it's Trump's course.
I'm trying to, but if not, I want to play Bethpage Black.
Can you try to keep the phone up by your mouth and not down by your asshole throughout the conversation? Thank you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
There you go.
There we go. No, I'm probably going to play Bethpage Black.
Bethpage Black. Don't bring race into this. Just go golfing and enjoy yourself.
Yes, I will try to enjoy myself.
Don't talk about the caddies.
Nope. I carry my own bag.
I don't golf, Brendan. Let me ask you. I'm dead serious. Do you have a short temp? Do you have a short fuse like I do? I was told by my brother, who's an avid golfer, he's got his kids can hit the shit out of the ball. He said, Nick, you don't have the temp, and he was right. I mulled it for years, and he said I would suggest no. And I sort of kicked myself in the ass though, because a lot of business gets done at a golf course. None of it comedy business, but do you have patience?
I do to a certain extent. My dad is like you. One bad shot, 4 hours is going to be miserable. So I'm not like him, but you got to have fun, you know.
Yes.
I go for the fun of it, you know. We're hanging out with friends, family. You got to do it. If you're there to be serious, no one's Tiger Woods, you know. I go to just to hit the ball and have a good time.
See that? Well, that's the right attitude. But thank you.
You know,
yeah.
Bethpage Black is, you know, I don't know if you know about it. It's the PGA course, one of the top 10 in the country. I can't go on there hacking it around.
No, yeah. No, I've heard of Bethpage Black. I dated her in high school. Big pig. All right, Brendan, take it easy. You guys remember Bethpage Black? Oh, she's a real boot down. Bethpage, and she was very pale, ironically. Very white, big freckled ass. Everybody enjoyed her. It's like comedy and tragedy. I look to my right, although you're both laughing right now. Folks, if you could see what I'm looking at, I love this setup. I can see why Mr. Bennington sits in this seat. I got my producer, Andy Flowers. I'm looking right at him, straight ahead. And then to my right, in the fishbowl, Brendan. And depending on the line, I get two completely different reactions. You can tell you're a comic. Brendan is 25. And engaged, by the way. We're going to have to work on that. Got to talk him out of it. Andy, what are you doing for the 4th?
Did we do this? Because I'm stand up all weekend, and then I'm going to Jersey on Monday and Tuesday.
I didn't listen the first time, and I didn't hear it again.
I'm going to see the folks.
Oh, you're going to see the folks?
Yeah.
The folks got a pool?
No.
You know what I do? My parents never had a pool either. But when everybody's out there grilling, it's like 98. I'd go in the bathroom, fill the tub, and just sit in there, bare ass, ice cold water, and drink a 6-pack of Iron City Lights. That's an actual bear, by the way. Is it still around?
Oh, yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
I was at the University of Maine, my fraternity, every week somebody else had to make the bear run if we didn't have kegs or whatever. It could be a Tuesday night. And they go, surprise us. And I'd come back with Iron City lights just to fucking ruin their evening. It's still around, huh?
Pittsburgh Brewing Company.
I don't know how to make a restaurant. I'm going to cut my lawn. I said I'm going to cut my lawn, and Andy just gave me a look. His face said this, if he could verbalize, there's 15 to 30 million illegals in the country, and you're going to cut your lawn? But I do it. I have like 3 or 4 Heinekens, and I put my headphones on.
Yeah.
It's fucking fun. It's fun. Because I told you, I have a brook that runs by the front of my yard, and it's a real deep slant. I mean, and there's erosion every year. And every year, my back end of my lawnmower slips. It's a sit-down mower. It's slipping a little. And last week came very close to flipping that thing in the brook. But I hope Jason Pierre-Paul has a good 4th of July. Hope he doesn't blow his nub off.
Hey, 4th of July is going to be better.
Can you imagine witnessing that? I had firecrackers go off in my hand once. I was running, I lit them, and my buddy threw something at my feet, and I forgot I was holding these, and I started to, and as I looked down, they exploded in my, and I had no feeling in my hand. I'd say for about 3-4 days. Those were just firecrackers.
Yeah.
What was he holding? A fucking pipe bomb? An IED from Iraq? What was Jason Pierre-Paul playing with?
Who knows?
That he has the hand of a 12-year-old Taliban member. Holy Christ, Eloise. I don't know why I did this. I had Brendan kick all the collars off just to make it hard on myself, But, I don't know. I feel bad now. They're going to celebrate my mother's birthday up there. But, wife's got a birthday, too, Thursday. I got her something I think she's going to like. It's an ironing board with a New Jersey Devils emblem on it and a place for her beer and a thing of chewing tobacco. Andy just made it for hockey play. I didn't like the reference.
Well, I'm a Rangers fan.
Huh?
I'm a Rangers fan.
Why, you fucking...
What's the idea? Get upstairs. Sit down.
Anyway, I had him clear the phones because I didn't... Everybody was still talking about Trump. That's what's tough about a 2-hour show. It's hard to, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It takes a half a segment to kick off a subject. You know what I mean? And then people start calling in with about 10 minutes left in that segment.
Right.
And then I don't want to go the whole next segment. Then it's too much. So I'm going to ask if we can do a half-hour night.
Perfect.
Nice easy math. University of Florida students asked to predict emotional risk of guest speakers. Can you fucking imagine? That's where we are at. Students are now required to submit an emotional risk level. The students are required to submit an emotional risk level for guest speaker events that they wish to host on campus. The options on the university's online portal, Gator Hub, include sensitive subject matter, reactions of participants, and potential controversy. The new policy likely comes in response to the increased efforts by college students across the country to censor guest speakers. Now, here's where, and I don't know where this comes from, this article. It says the new policy likely comes in response to the increased efforts by college students. No, left-wing college students is what you want to say. There's no fucking right-wing students trying to censor or shut down left-wing speakers. Just be honest in your reporting, please. It sticks out like a tit with 2 nipples. If you that made Andy Flowers smile. Yeah, so Well, actually, if you go on to read the rest of the sentence, it says, country to censor guest speakers, which have overwhelmingly been of conservative libertarian ideological persuasions. That's who's, yeah. Glad you made the point. The new policy asks event organizers to estimate the emotional risk level associated with their event, but they're able to skip the question. Students' responses that are recorded are used by administrators to determine event staffing needs. In other words, if, Ian Colt is coming, you're going to fill out a thing saying, oh, my God, the response is, it's going to be blah, blah, blah. And then that'll determine how many cops they hire. And then those cops at Berkeley will sit there and do absolutely nothing. But can you imagine? What's happening? What is happening that these snowflakes... Let me ask you, when's the last time you heard a story coming off a college campus about somebody studying science, math, or English? Well, seriously, when is the last time you heard a story about some kid, a physics student, coming up with something amazing? A Goodwill Hunting type of situation? Does it even happen anymore? Oh, God. Gary in White Plains. What's up, Gary?
What's up, Nick?
What's going on?
Love the show.
Thank you, sir.
Listen, I was just, that's like such, asinine way of doing things. Let's find out what makes you cry, and then we won't do it. No, you know what?
Exactly.
If, the kids who protested Mike Pence when he came to do the commencement speech, they got up and left.
Yes.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
If it offends you, then leave.
Right.
Don't make a big deal about it. You just leave. I don't like what you're saying. I'm leaving. That's it. It's over.
How about...
And you go on with your day.
I'll take
Some
it...
people liked what he said. You got to be an adult sometimes, especially with... I'm going to find out what makes you cry before we do anything. No, that's not how the world works.
How about this, Gary, though? If those people that walked out on Pence, how about just not going at all?
Well, I think it was their graduation. I think they kind of had to go.
Oh, fuck them. mail their cap and gown to these bitches.
I'm going to mail you a diploma in a box.
That's a good point. They had to show up, I guess. Not really, but...
they didn't want Mike Pence to speak, but the school did it anyway, and so they protested, which is fine, which is what this country was built on. You don't like something, you can protest. Have a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
There's no problem with that.
No,
I don't see a problem with that, but I'm not going to send out a letter to find out what's going to offend you before I do it.
I know. And again, it goes back to, it's thanks for the call, Gary, and enjoy the 4th of July. No, he's exactly right. I mean, that's not how the world fucking works. I get my feelings hurt every day. I look at my pee-pee in the mirror and go, for Christ's sake, Jesus, is that the best you could do, you big dink? Huh.
What do you have to do with it?
All right, his father. I don't know. I brought Jesus into it.
I don't know how to make a...
I don't know how to make a penis. What a way to close out the fucking week. Brendan had like 8 calls on it, but they were all Trump calls. I said, get those off there. Let's just drive this thing off the tracks. I wonder if there's going to be a lot of traffic heading north. A lot of people doing what we're doing? You think? No, tomorrow. They're working tomorrow, most people. No, and Monday's the
now
long.
it's 8 o'clock,
8 o'clock. That's true. We don't work like we used to in this country anymore. Anyhow. What do you got? Anything? Let's wrap up the week. Fucking ran out of gas. 19 calls. I booted them off. I got to talk about anything. What comes on after us? Do you know?
Cavino and Rich.
Oh, yeah. Cavino and Rich. And then Ferguson? Is he on this?
No, they're on a different channel.
Different channel?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm proud that I've been a comic for 30 years and I'm not on any of the comedy channels.
Not true.
What do you mean? Oh, they play my clips. Yeah. I'm just saying this show. And I like, somebody said they were going to change from faction to friction because some of the shows are busting each other's balls. Huh? Good idea, Brendan? I'm going to tell you guys right now what I get paid here. $11.5. But we get the free pass at the cafeteria. And I still don't have my my badge. What am I fucking talking about? I don't have my security badge. because I won't come in 6 hours early to get it. Unless Scorsese calls with that callback and says, you got to be here. Pray for me over the weekend, folks, that I get a call back, because that would make me excited. Anyways, thank you, Anthony Comey, for calling. Bert Kreischer yesterday, and anybody else who was here this week, and all you callers that make the show. Have a great 4th of July. Again, throw some cherry bombs at your kids. Enjoy your beer. I'll talk to you live on Wednesday. Take care of yourselves.